Hello, I'm Jody Wolfe, and you're watching Expoz on December 18, 2019, and it is 11:23 p.m. in Birmingham. Well, how'd today go for you? Things come out your way? Today, the vote was not against Donald Trump. It's against God. But you remember what they're doing. And when I say they, I mean our enemies. They go after God's people. That's the only way they can hurt God or think that they can hurt God. But they're badly mistaken. So they went after Trump. Now, Trump stopped the UN, the Agenda 21, that was supposed to have taken place almost 3 years ago now, which we would be just like Venezuela today had Hillary won. And so Trump stopped, Trump stopped it, but God put Trump in, and that's what stopped it. And he'll put Trump back in. But guys, they're not going to like it this time around. And I think God is just going to let them know who's been in charge all along and who will remain in charge. This is why they'll go after the church in a major, major way coming up next. And I'm just glad my wife is not here to see all this mess. Boy, she'd be on her high horse. Really on her high horse. I was, you see my camera's aimed a little bit differently. I don't know, I didn't want to move things around, but I swapped out some pictures. My niece wanted to copy. This is 1996. My wife and I's first trip to Daytona Beach Bike Week. And my wife died in 1999. So that's 96. And here's a better picture of her in 1986. That's my wife, and that's her horse Figment and her granddaughter. I take that back, our daughter. But anyway, I found these laying here along with a pile of others, and I just thought I'd show you that I had a very attractive wife, and look at her haircut, and looked like a Farrah Fawcett haircut. But she passed away in 99, and I still hadn't moved on. I still miss her. But she would be on her high horse today. What happened today shouldn't have happened. But we are under attack, and you got to keep in mind, it's a spiritual battle. And it's not a battle that is yet one that we can take with a sword or a gun and fight over. But it's weakening this country, because this was not anything other than a simple coup that is going to bring more behind it. God won't let that happen. He put Trump here for a reason. And I gotta pound in, please bear with me on it, I gotta pound in, if you go back to 2007, when Kim Clements, prophet, said, there will be a trumpet, there will be a trump. And he another time, still 2007, he related that to gold. And nobody was thinking that he was saying, look, you're going to have Donald Trump as president. He just said, in your future, in the future. And he said, you'll know who I'm talking about, because you will hear at that time, impeach, impeach. And that didn't happen in 2016. So he said this in 2007, 2011, 2014, and shortly thereafter, impeach. And the fireman, Mark Taylor, 2011, had the very same thing. And I hate to admit, I'm not going to give you a name, but there's other people that had the same vision, and I don't know why they did. Well, I take that back. I do know why one of them didn't tell you about it, because he didn't believe it. Although God gave him a vision, he didn't believe it. He said, I'm too afraid to go out on a limb and say, look, we're going to have Donald Trump as president. He did after. He kept telling everybody. He said, I know who it is, but I just can't tell you who he is. He told everybody that days and weeks leading up to the event. And he finally said the night before, he said, I know who's going to win. But then the later that night, he said he had doubt. So this is why he never put it out. I won't tell you who he is, but he is from Tennessee, really close to Chattanooga. Nice guy. I like him. I still go see him. But a lot of people had this, but no one's talking about the long-term implications for our country, especially how hard it's going to get for the liberal, left, Democrat. They're going to lose it all. They're going to lose everything. Trump will be reelected. God told us 2 terms. He will be reelected. And things are going to change. And they'll wish they had never taken that route. But you gotta look at one thing, that we're coming to an end, and we're in now the final 10 years. Inside of the final 10 years were the end of the 7-year tribulation. We're in that final 10 years. And that means a year and a half from now, we might be in the tribulation, the final 7 years, and it'll run its course. But we're that close. We have to get this done. In other words, what's happened had to have happened. It can't just keep going like this for the next 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. This country will have an all-out war. I mean a war, not just shooting at neighbors. I mean a war. It's win or lose. And the guys with guns will be the take-all winners. That's just flat out the way it's going to be. But we're not going to be here that long. The Bible says there will be an end to it. It will come to an end. And all the things that Jesus tells us to look for, wow, they are just, light speed coming right at us. And you know what? You don't see it here, but I have an arrow on my desk that 3 years ago I laid my phone down and I pointed it west, a dead north, because Birmingham Airport has runways 1836, that's north and south. And I always flew out of the north ramp or south ramp, which is 1836 is what I used. Then you had 5 and 23, 050 or 23. 5 and 23 changed. No longer 5 and 23. They had to move the runway, and it jumped up to a 6. No, in other words, they're not taking off at 050 degrees, they're taking off at 060 degrees. And I've been living in Birmingham, well, I was born here 70 years, and I lived right under a runway. The lift off on 5, right there, that's where I lived. They changed the runway numbers. And I laid my phone back out on my desk, And I could not believe how much it had changed north right here. Quite a bit. And this hadn't got anything to do with the price of beans in China. What I'm telling you now, I'm just telling you there are changes coming. Changes that are mentioned in the Bible are coming in baby steps. And they're about to hit bigger and bigger and bigger. And today you had Hagman and I can't think the guy's name, I apologize, talking about the sun activity. And he said, something's really strange. I keep looking at it. And he said hadn't had any big solar bursts or flares. He said in the black part is near the bottom. And then one of them brought up, went to a site and come back, said, you know what, the sun has rotated. That black spot that you normally look at is higher up in the sun. It's rotated near the bottom. And as the sun rotates, so we rotate. So things are happening. But Trump, look, give the man credit. There's not a battle that he'll walk away from. Those who tried the coup, they'll try it again in other ways. They want Agenda 21 to be underway. We're not going to let them as long as we are here, but God will remove us in due time. And it'll probably be quicker than you think. But today was a full-blown coup attempt. They thought they'd have more support than they had, but they found out they didn't. And I'm talking about the Democrats, left. So you're going to see a change, and the change is going to start pecking away at the left, chiseling their foundation down. Their foundation is going to crumble. Then we're going to be yanked out of here in due time, and then their foundation will be the only left. Well, they can do whatever they want then. They can have it. But they're after, to hurt God, they got to hurt us. And to hurt God, they got to hurt the Jews. And that's their agenda. All along, that is it. Jody Wolfe, Expoz.